Now, I don't know about you, but I always wince just a little bit when something is described as game-changing or next level. That little voice in my head just demands proof. I want facts, I want data. But I'm here to see a car that seems capable of backing up those claims. Say hello to the next level Peugeot E3008. But before I tell you all about the car that offers a game-changing 435 miles of driving range, do all the usual stuff, subscribe to the channel and switch your notifications on, because if you're into electric cars, then this is the place to be. Looks a bit different to the last one, doesn't it? A heavy evolution, I would say. This time it has proper full-on electrification. So this is what Peugeot are calling the next level all-electric E3008 fastback SUV. And you know what? I do think it looks pretty good. But what about you? What do you make of it? As always, let us know in the comments below. In the past few years, Peugeot's design team has managed to turn the brand from cheap and cheerful to pretty chic. I'm actually a big fan of the design of the E208, and the new E3008 is the latest model from the French company to be given a complete glow-up. It's also the first to use all new underpinnings from the parent company Stellantis, which is big news when that parent has got a lot of children. So the special gift that Peugeot has received from its parent is the STLA Medium platform. Now, the big news about that is that it's been designed with electric cars in mind. And when you think that the platform or the underpinnings are a bit like the foundations of a house, making sure that they're fit for electric is a really good thing. So Stellantis are very excited about the efficiency of this car. And of course, with efficiency comes more driving range, so let me walk you through it. Comes with a choice of 2 battery sizes, all with decently fast 160 kilowatt DC charging. You can opt for front or all-wheel drive with single or dual motors. But in this case, the real headline figure is a long-range version with a possible 435 miles of official range. It got your attention, didn't it? So whopping amount of range. Take that, charger anxiety. According to my sums, that's only beaten by the £100,000 Mercedes EQS in the UK at the moment, and this is going to cost nothing like that. Now, prices haven't been confirmed, but we expect them to start in the mid-40s. Does that surprise you? I guess it's putting this car alongside the likes of the Kia EV6, the Tesla Model Y, the Audi e-tron Q4, the Hyundai Ioniq 6, and the Nissan Ariya. And I think it shows you where Peugeot and how thinking that they are. They really are trying to move upmarket and be seen as a premium brand. Once again, what do you make of that? Would you consider this car against that competition? Let us know in the comments below. Now, before I get too much into all the technical details and pricing and stuff, let's move on to that thing that the French do absolutely brilliantly. No, I'm not talking about going on strike. I mean design, of course. Peugeot has a long history of design. It started off producing coffee grinders and other household goods before moving on to ladies' corsets and crinolines, none of which have thankfully influenced the sharp, angular looks of the E3008, which I think looks really striking. The daytime running lights are the claw slash we see on Peugeot's other cars, which I think make them look very distinctive. They run from the super compact LED headlights into the body of the car, and the surfacing is really subtle. It's kind of mean looking, but not at all threatening. Around at the back, you get a floating rear spoiler inspired by the quartz concept, plus more of that great-looking claw-like graphic. Now, these wheels are 18 inches as standard with 19s as an option, both with a quite wacky but charming aerodynamic design. One thing I really like about the side of the car here is that you can really see that fastback design. 3 all-electric models will be available when it comes to the UK, along with hybrid and plug-in hybrid versions. The base of the range is a 210 brake horsepower car with a 73 kilowatt-hour battery that hits 62 miles per hour in 8.7 seconds and manages an impressive 326 miles of official range. Now, this is absolutely what we've been talking about at Electrifying for ages now. We desperately need cars that focus on range and efficiency more than drag racing away from the traffic lights. But don't panic, because there is one in the range that has that option too. It gets the same 73 kilowatt hour battery, but also gets a pair of motors, which adds another 110 brake horsepower to the rear and gives all-wheel drive. It packs 320 brake horsepower, and the 0 to 62 time drops to 6.4 seconds. Definitely more hot hatch than SUV. Curiously, it also gets exactly the same 326 miles of official range as the single motor version, according to Peugeot, which is unusual. Not exactly sure how that's been worked out, but maybe Harry Potter was involved. Now, having chatted to Peugeot's engineers here at the launch, I can actually confirm that it isn't the result of magic and that Harry had nothing to do with it, sadly. It's apparently down to the increased levels of regeneration that you get by having two motors, one at the front, one at the back. Quite how that transfers out of laboratory conditions into the real world really does remain to be seen, but we'll be reporting back on that as soon as we get the chance to drive it. Now, let's move on to the third, and I think the most interesting option. And unusually for me, it's actually the slowest. Now, it's called the long range, and it has 230 brake horsepower, gets to 62 miles per hour in a smidge under 9 seconds. But that interesting bit is that it has a massive 98 kilowatt hour battery, almost twice the size of the battery on loads of cars, including, incidentally, all of Citroen's electric range. Now, what that mammoth, huge power pack means in a car this size is 435 miles of official range. And of course, range for so many of us equals convenience. And this is one convenient car. It means you could drive from London to Edinburgh, for example, without stopping. Well, without stopping to charge, because there is no way I could do that drive without stopping for the loo, coffee, and chocolates, definitely chocolates. But of course, what we're really interested in is what the view is like from the driver's seat. And I think the view is really good in here. You've got all these swooping edges and angles, gives it a really, I guess, architectural feel. I love the way that there's lots of different materials. It's all very tactile. Might be a bit much for some of you, but I do really like it. I like this little hockey stick here. It's got all the controls that you use a lot, really handily placed there. So volume, drive modes, climate control. And also it sort of separates off the passenger, makes it feel a bit like a cockpit, which funnily enough is what it's called. Peugeot is calling this the panoramic iCockpit. This screen is pretty big, it's 21 inches. It's a kind of IMAX-y curved screen right there. In front of me, and it's slightly tilted towards me. I actually do really like it. I like having it there in front of me as opposed to everything in the centre where you've got to take your eyes away. And in most markets, this is an optional extra. But the generous team in the UK have decided that this is going to be standard across all models. We'll be paying for it in some other way though, so don't worry about that. Now, this is something that I really like. So these are called iToggles. Sounds like something that the Apple design team came up with and then decided not to bother making, doesn't it? But basically, in each of these little squares, you can program the things that you use the most, mirror screen, your navigation, climate control, and they will come up on the right side of this sort of dual screen. So on the left-hand side, you get all the information that you need about your speed and range, all of that stuff. And then on the right side is more of the functions of the car. And I really like that. If you watch a lot of our videos, you will know that all of us, me included, really like some physical buttons in a car. And I think this strikes a really nice balance. The other thing that's familiar is, of course, the steering wheel. It's that smallest steering wheel. Flat top, flat bottom. Now, it really divides opinion, this, with lots of people saying, oh, it's really hard to sort of see over or see through. I actually ran an E-3008 for a couple of years, and actually you do really get used to it. And for me, I just like the small size of the steering wheel. It just feels really nice when you're driving. It makes it feel sportier. And then other than that, yeah, you've got all the usual recycled materials in here. plenty of storage. Yeah, this is a really nice place to be. Next level, Peugeot, next level. Here in the back, first impressions are that actually it's really comfortable. The quilting on the seats really does make it, nice. And again, you know, there's a lot of thought here in the back. All those nice design elements don't end in the front seats. Lots of interesting materials. Knee room isn't too bad. It's not the best, but I am only 5'4", so it's not great. And whoever sits in the middle is definitely going to get a short straw, because while you've got the flat floor, what you do have is this centre console that protrudes slightly into the back, which really takes away from the legroom on this centre seat. But yeah, you've got heated rear seats, loads of USB and charging ports down there. Really good sized door bins, pockets on the back. And of course, if there are two of you travelling, central armrests with cup holders, somewhere to keep your phone. I think overall, it really does feel like quite a comfortable, plush place to be back here, as long as your legs aren't too long. Now, you might think that by giving the exterior that extra swoop, you actually lose boot space. But no, you don't. The E-3008 with the standard battery has exactly the same 520 litres of space as the old car. And the dual motor version gets about 50 litres less because of the rear motor, but it is still a really good size boot, plenty of space in there. And it doesn't stop there. All cars will get vehicle to load ability, which lets you charge things up on the go. And they come with smart charging to help make topping up as affordable as possible, while of course there's an app for the usual controls and preconditioning. You get 11 kilowatt AC charging as standard, but you can opt for 22 kilowatt charging. And that 160 kilowatt DC that I mentioned earlier is standard across the range. With that, you're going to be looking at around 30 minutes to charge from 20 to 80% for the base model. 160 kilowatts isn't so wow these days, but it is still competitive. So let's get back to game changing, shall we? And just as Peugeot's first electric car, the cute looking VLV, changed the game back in 1941, I think the E3008 is a real game changer for them today. You know, it hasn't just had a tweak here and there, it's had a full makeover. And I think what's really impressive is that the improvements aren't just skin deep. It's a well thought out piece of design, but that new technology, the new platform, offers a level of range that could really be game changing for some drivers. But will that range stack up in real life? Well, we're going to have to wait and see. But if you want to be the first to know when we drive this car, if you aren't already, do subscribe to the channel and switch your notifications on. Because if you're into electric cars, then this, as I always say, is the place to be. And if you want to know more about the Peugeot E3008 or any of its competitors, then why not pop over to electrifying.com and check out our full review. We can also help you figure out the best electric car for you, help you book a test drive, and we've got loads of tips and explainers to make living with an electric car as easy as possible.